Cutting door and window trim. Miter cuts typically require either an expensive and bulky miter saw or a handsaw and jig. The SawMax offers a highly mobile and reasonably priced option for making these exacting cuts quickly and easily. For this project, we'll be using a Dremel SawMax, the miter guide attachment model SM840, and an SM600 multi-purpose flush cutting wheel. The SawMax miter guide can be used to cut angles of varying degrees. We'll first be making a 45-degree miter cut. Place the guide so that it rests flush against the trim. Leave about 1/8 of an inch of space between your intended cut and the guide to account for the offset of the blade. Clamp the guide in place. Rest the SawMax against the guide to begin cutting, moving the tool slowly and smoothly. For a straight cut, rotate the guide so the tool rests against the edge that runs perpendicular to the trim. Clamp the piece of trim you're cutting for safety and for a superior finish. Cuts in trim should be as clean as possible. Use a fresh cutting wheel for best results. Here are some other thoughts about cutting miters and trim. The Dremel SawMax miter guide defaults to 45-degree miters, but can also cut miters of 90, 30, 22.5, and 15 degrees. To cut different angles, pivot the guide on its pivot point. If you use an SM500 multipurpose cutting wheel to make cuts, be sure to adjust the placement of the guide to compensate for its offset. The miter cutting guide can also be used to make 45-degree bevel cuts in trim.